Eccoci finalmente con il nostro ospite di questa sera, ovvero Glenn Danzig. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Just to start out with a little bit about the record, I find it even more varied than the previous ones. Your voice has been recorded, filtered in some cases in different ways. Some of the arrangements are very subtle, so it's a slightly more complicated record as far as I'm concerned compared to the previous ones. Was this a slow and natural maturing process? Was it that something clicked differently between you and Rick Rubin this time? What else?
All of it.
All right.
So it was definitely a maturing process. Also, more experimentation in the studio. You know.
Do you enjoy your time in the studio? Do you like to mess around with buttons and stuff? I know you also produce other bands.
Yeah, I like to experiment.
So you have a pretty good relationship with technology, or you just use it as a means to an end?
Yeah. The last one, yeah.
Once again, you wrote everything by yourself. Is this because you only feel comfortable when doing this, or do you don't want to compromise your ideas with others? What is it?
No one brought any songs down either. You know, and so I wrote all, yeah.
So you don't fear being looked upon as an egotistical Nazi leader of a rock band, because sometimes you're pictured a little in this way, like you decide what everybody else in the band does. Does it really work like this, or it's just lack of ideas on their part?
Most of the people that say that are not in bands. They don't know how a band works. So it's almost like, you know, somebody who's not an electrician telling an electrician how to fix a light, you know, or fix a wiring, you know. It's stupid.
Your music has evolved pretty naturally and in an independent way from, let's say, actual trends or styles, and your points of reference are definite from the past, probably. So is there anything that you really like, listen to, and might be eventually influenced by right now in the music market or the music business?
No.
Not at all. And how about your work in the studio? Which bands did you produce, and are you planning on producing more bands?
The only band I've produced is King Horse.
Mm-hmm.
But I will probably be producing some more bands this coming year.
You've been misunderstood many times because of your personal beliefs and the way these beliefs are reflected in your lyrics. You have also been caricatured as a Satanist in a few metal magazines.
Yeah.
So I know it's pretty hard to sum up one's personal beliefs, but would you give us an insight about that?
What I can tell you in this short amount of time is what gets me through the day is using my inner strength from inside, being strong, and then dealing with the world and things outside. Strong here first, and then here.
Although in a few interviews and reading your lyrics, I found very interesting another concept, if you want to comment on that, like the fact that positivity and negativity, like in a lot of Oriental philosophies as well, are complementary. You can have one unless you have the other. They have the same importance, and you have to be able to deal and appreciate and use both sides of that. Would you like to comment on that?
No, I think you did it very well.
All right. As this being strong, being consistent with one's beliefs, have anything to do with your martial training? We were talking about your Muay Thai and JKD.
Yeah, you can go. It just always I had done, you know, the positive and the negative, and without one, there's not the other. They both have to exist, but it became even more important once doing martial arts. Yeah.
I've recently read a brief piece of news regarding one of your lyrics that has not been included in the record about white power. And it was probably based on the misconception of being okay, converting to Islam is all right if you're black, if you're a rapper, and it's okay if you're proud to be black in those conditions. Were you trying to do something similar on the whitey's point of view, or what else?
Whitey's? It seems to me it's a double standard. that it is okay for black people to unite or any other people to unite, but it's not okay if white people unite, which to me is hypocrisy. It should be okay for white people to unite, especially if they feel that they have, you know, a problem that they need addressed, and only if they unify can it be addressed. It also seems very hypocritical to me that minorities think that they're the only ones that have problems, and that if, because the white may be majority, that they don't have problems, just because they're the majority. This is like super ridiculous. Everyone has problems. They're all poor people in all colors and walks of life. There are, God, so many poor people in America who are white. And there's lots of rich black people, especially in the rap community. Rap is very big business in America. Many big companies, you know, when a very poor white family sees a rich, you know, rapper go by in a Mercedes-Benz or whatever, he's just exactly like when a poor black person sees a rich white guy drive by. It's the same thing. So there is no, you know.
You chose to live in a place that's probably everything you talk about, everything you just criticized, centered. I mean, LA is probably the epitome of the failure of the American dreams for a few, and the sign of victory of the American dreams for a few others. It's, at least on this side of the ocean, we have this fake perception of Los Angeles. Do you live there only for business reasons? Do you only for those? Would you rather move out somewhere?
Soon I will be moving. Yeah, I don't like LA. I don't like New York either, though. I don't like a lot of places. But also Europeans, so I'll probably get in trouble here for saying it, but I've said it already. Europeans also have this feeling of superiority, that their governments are better than the United States. Their governments are just as corrupt. And the failure here is just as dramatic as in the U.S. Maybe you don't have the violence we have, but you still have the failure of government helping people.
Definitely. Looks like things are starting to happen finally for DANZIG in the States. I know MTV played Mother, I think, pretty constantly.
Then they wouldn't play the first video off this record.
Was it too radical?
Call in the Dark, yeah, they said it was too satanic.
They saw probably some S&M in it as well.
I don't know if that bothered them too much. You know, we're looked upon by MTV with a different standard than other bands. For example, the Nine Inch Nails could get away with a lot more than DANZIG could, and it's because of the stigma attached to the things I sing about, the way I sing about them, who I am, and things like that.
We're just about to see Can't Speak. Would you like to comment on that song? What is it about?
That's a song about all the different oppressions that one feels every day, from government, local authority, media, you know, all different kinds of groups, you know, always telling you got to be this, everyone has to be the same. They want everyone to, you know, think the same, be the same, think the same politics. So it's my reaction.
Ok, questo è Can't Speak, torneremo la prima volta insieme a Glenn Danzig. Glenn nel 1992 aveva pubblicato un lavoro di musica che possiamo definire sinfonica che si chiamava Black Area. Chiediamogli se ha intenzione di dare un seguito a questo tipo di lavoro. Is Black Area going to have a follow-up of any sort?
Yeah, eventually. I started working on a soundtrack for Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. It's very, like I said, militaristic before, but it's very like old war drums and then that kind of music over it.
I know it takes a long time to work on soundtracks, usually. Do you find time to do this? You also did something with Roy Orbison, if I'm not mistaken, for Less Than Zero?
Yeah, I wrote Roy Orbison a song for Less Than Zero. What was that, 87?
Probably.
Yeah. And recently I just wrote Johnny Cash a song, which was a great honor for me, because I'm a very big fan of Johnny Cash.
Do you listen to symphonic music as well, or was it just, I don't know, inspiration coming from years of rock and roll, wanted to go into the studio without guitars for a change?
I listen to, you know, Wagner and Saint Saëns, a few other, you know, a few other composers.